Keep it pyro.
Alright, so we're going to introduce our special guest into the building, Boy Nash.
Yo.
Man like Boy Nash.
What's going on, brother?
I'm good, family, man. How you doing? So,
Cool, man. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you, man.
I thought we've been thinking about doing something to do with Black History Month here this month.
Yeah.
And obviously I've connected with you and we did the radio show on Lexi Lopez's show the other day.
Yeah.
And I thought it made sense for you to come here and talk about this here today. So what we kind of do here, though, is just go straight into what we're discussing. So today we've been asking, what was the question again? I always do this.
Do we need Black History?
Black History Month.
Do we need Black History Month?
Okay, right, man.
Yeah, because we obviously need Black History.
100%.
You think?
Yeah, history starts with.
But do you think we need Black History Month?
Do you know what? I feel. I'll be honest. I say yes and no.
Yeah.
The reason I say yes and no is because. Okay, let me start with yes. The reason I say we do need Black History Month is I feel like we're in a system, and in this system we know how it's designed.
Yeah.
And I feel like a class of people are designed to be the burden bearers, or if you don't have enough money or whatever, you're designed to be the burden bearer. So hence, the powers that be have given us a month, so we make use of that month 100%. That's the powers that be.
Yeah.
No, on the other hand, I would say Black History Month should be celebrated every single month, every single day. We should look at our black. We shouldn't just have a month where we look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my take on it.
So you think that it was? We've been trying to work this out because I don't know, and I don't think Ben fully knew the history of how this month was set up. So you think that's set up like you say by the powers?
I think that's set up by the powers that be. That's what I believe. Yeah.
What do you think? Why have they
Wait,
done
over here or like
over here? Because obviously Black History Month in America is February.
Yeah, it's a different month.
Black History Month over here is October. So definitely it's the system that we live in, and in the system there's rules and there's regulations, and that's what has been set up for us. Let's give them a month to celebrate their history.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, and that's what it is, and I feel like we have to make the most of it.
So how would you see it like put into like? Do you want it just put into mainstream education? How do you mean like it should be with us every month?
I feel like it should be taught. More of it should be taught. Shouldn't we just know the Nelson Mandelas, the Malcolms, the Martin? We don't really know as much into it. And I feel like even with history, we don't even know. People can retrace it up to a certain level. We can't be retraced all the way back. You get what I'm saying? That's what I believe. Anyway.
Because that's not been looked into enough, you think?
Yeah, it's just hard. I think you know what I mean. You can't. It's too far back. It's history. It's his story.
Yeah. But so it's something you choose personally to make the most of, like you say.
100%. I feel like we should make the most of it, man.
Yeah.
We're in a system, like I said, we're in a system where there's rules.
Yeah.
They've been set. We're in a system and these people are the powers that be, and they say, do you know what? We're going to give you a month. It's no point sitting there moaning about it and going, no, it should be every day.
Yeah.
Nah, bruv. We use that month and we make it effective.
Yeah.
That's what I believe it should be. And then through that, maybe it could be longer. Maybe it will even start being every month or every day for certain people because of the impact of October. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think? So what is the most proactive kind of way of making that happen in that month?
In terms of what, this month?
Yeah.
Like making Black History Month more effective.
Yeah, like you're saying.
I think taught in schools, seminars, and it's us as black people actually making these events and actually saying, you know what, let's celebrate it, because no one's going to celebrate it for us. It's like, even if you look at the ends and stuff, people are like, oh, there's knife crimes. They're not going to come down and stop it. We have to be the community leaders. So if we have a problem with Black History Month saying it should be longer or it should be celebrated more, we should be in the community setting up these events. It doesn't have to be big events. Like 2 weeks ago, I went to a discussion in Croydon, just about 15 of us, but we celebrated Black History Month and we educated each other on it. You get what I'm saying? So it's people taking the lead in this month, but not sitting there. People are sitting there and complaining, go, no, it shouldn't be 1 month, it's a disrespect. But you're in a system where we understand. Look at how many leaders have been taken.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King, Malcolm. Look at we see it. It's a system that is not designed for a certain type of people. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like we should make the most of it. That's just my take on it.
Okay, so you're saying rather than moan, use the month itself to mobilize and that type of thing.
100%.
Okay.
Rather than moan, use the month.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So you've chosen to release this project here this month? It came out this month?
Yeah, 15th October.
Cool.
I dedicated, for Black history.
There's some knowledge on that still.
Yeah. So did you plan that from a while ago to come out this month?
Do you know what? In all honesty, I'll say everything happened organically. I wouldn't say I planned to release it, but I was meant to release this project time ago. I wanted to release it in February, but then things kept on slowing down, and you know how the universe works. And it just finally was pushed to 15th October, and I was like, yep, that's the right month. Let's go with it.
Okay.
And it's the feedback has been crazy. People have loved it. It's just the perfect time for it to come out.
Sick.
Yeah, so, for sure. There's a lot of Black history on the project itself.
The project is, that's what it is. It's dedicated to Black history.
Talk to us about the series. So it's YMLK Part 3. It's called Shackles. We've been promoting that, but it's a series of 3 EPs, right?
Yeah, 3 projects.
Three projects.
I have the alias Young MLK. So
Yeah.
Boy Nash, I also have an alias Young MLK that I use.
Yeah.
And under that, I did the first project, which was part 1, which was a load of freestyles. I was touching on Black history in there as well.
Yep.
Then we had the part 2, which was more freestyles. I had the Armageddon series. And I thought, you know what, part 3, just to conclude it, let's make an actual project about it.
Yeah.
And it just kind of went into this. This wasn't even planned. It just went into this. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is the young Martin Luther King like a constant, AKA? Yeah.
I would say constant. It might change, but right now it's constant. I've been using it all the time. Like I love the alias.
So how you come up with that?
Do you know what? I just bought his autobiography one day, and I just thought, do you know what? And I liked some of his. I downloaded the app where it had his quotes, and one of his quotes was, "Take the first. You don't have to see the whole staircase, but take the first step." And every time I flicked through his quotes, it just resonated with what I was saying. And he had something where I have a dream. So I have that poster in my bedroom. I have a dream, and I have a dream in it. So it just kind of stuck with me, and I thought, no, it's a young MLK movement. That's what I am, and that's what I call myself.
It's crazy dope. It's just that most people don't. Most people like, oh yeah, young Escobar, or
I saw that.
or young Pimp or something. That's a young Martin Luther King.
Yo, man, flipped it. That's real. I saw a quote today, Dead Man Walking shared, that I don't think I ever heard. Let no man pull you low enough to hate him.
Is that a Martin Luther King?
Yeah,
he's
quote. And I was like, okay, that's dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
obviously though, certain time I see things on memes. I'm not even sure if man said it though.
Yeah, true.
You got an app innit? You got an app, so that's confirmed. But man can't just take every single one.
Confirmed though.
Nah, because I see one where it's like, yo, I say I don't have it. Martin Luther King. I was like, no, that's not real.
Dead Man Walking shared that though. I trust him still. He does his research.
Alright.
You know what I'm saying?
We'll run with it, innit? We'll keep it. That's it.
I like the quote anyway. But yeah, talk to us more about the project. I wanted to talk to you about this specific song. You told this story before when we was on the other show.
Yeah.
But and I was saying to you, it's kind of dope that you've done this song based on this person, Mary Prince, and that I'm now gonna go and look them up because I heard it, but I haven't done that. So I need you to tell me about them.
Okay, so Mary Prince, the song came from Mixtape Madness. So last year, Mixtape Madness hit me up and they said they wanted a song for Black History Month.
Yeah.
They were actually looking for a project, but I didn't have a project at that time. So they said, you know what, give us a song. And they told me, we want you to write about Mary Prince.
Okay.
They sent over, they told me the name. I researched about it. I went on Wikipedia, I did all my research, watched little videos, little clips, and I came up with this record. And when I researched about Mary Prince, she was the first black woman. She was a slave in Antigua.
Yeah.
And then she came over to England, and slavery was abolished here. But even though it was abolished in England, you still had to live with your owners because you couldn't get a job or anything. So it's like you're free, but you're not free.
Yeah.
And she was the first black slave from England to actually write an anti-slavery, to write an autobiography, a book about her experience in slavery.
Yeah.
And she also wrote, she was also the first black woman to present an anti-slavery petition in Parliament and explain what she went through and why it should be abolished. So she helped in the abolishment of slavery, and she was the first black woman, and no one even knows that.
Yeah.
And I just took the song and I just ran with it. So in the first verse, I'm kind of rapping as her.
Okay.
And then the second verse, I'm rapping as her, but someone who's watching this generation. So I start the verse by saying, as I glide above, you know, so she's looking down at what's going on here. That's why I have stuff like the postcode wars and stuff like that that's been going on in the UK.
Yeah.
And then the third verse is kind of me giving advice, but also how I feel she would look at it. So I'm like, my advice is don't divide, stay united, and you'll survive. If Black Lives Matter, why don't you help your black brother instead of walking around London? So that's how the whole song was kind of attacked. And with the chorus, it just came to me, sweet Jesus, we made it. We started, because she started from the slave ships, and I felt like in today's society, everyone kind of starts from their own slave ship. You know what I mean? And then basically we made it, like we got out of the situation that we used to be in. So that's how the whole Mary Prince thing.
I need to re-listen to that song.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, man bumped it while we was here.
I was like, yo, I need to look this woman up now and research it. You know what I'm saying?
I was too deep. I was throwing elbows. I missed all of that.
Yeah.
I'm coming back though. Because I never heard of Mary Prince, and that's like one of the first time I've actually been educated on this show.
Okay.
So yeah, props for that.
Well, no one never educate. I'll educate you here every week.
But not about black, not about anything important. You be telling me about Amber Rose or something, man. Allow me, innit? Like, I'm talking about this. Mary Prince can't be compared to Amber Rose.
Where did that come from? No, you just touched on like what you said in the second verse about things going on in the ends, postcode wars. How do you think the young people now are like and the platforms that they look at, maybe even like the link ups and Graham Daily, do you think these kind of platforms cover these kind of issues well enough?
artists, I don't think they cover this issue, but I feel like they're for a different demographic, or they preach a different type of music. But there's other channels, like there's a channel called Global Faction.
Yeah, of course.
If you go on there, they cover all of this conscious stuff. So I don't feel. I feel like the mainstream, like with Link Up, they're not covering that the Black history. They're not covering stuff like that. But that's not their market. So for them, I feel like whatever they're covering is what they're covering, and that's what's popping for them. Because remember, nowadays it's a numbers thing, innit? So.
And what you think that's calm? I
personally feel like they should touch
I'm not trying to make you send shots on that, and I'm just trying to assess it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
100%. I think they should. There should be a moral responsibility for them to promote stuff that's good. But then it's not even them. It's also the artists that are making the music. You get what I'm saying? Because for example, some of my music's on Link Up TV, and everyone be like, but why are you putting it on there though, bruv? They don't like that type of music. So it's also the artists that are pulling away from putting their music on there.
And those songs you've got on there it was okay. Similar content though. I mean, to what you're talking about here. So you're touching on issues. They are covering it at times if they're putting you on there at that time. Yeah,
they put me on a Link Up TV freestyle. So big up to them. That was about a year ago. Yeah, and I touched on some deep stuff.
So like the Mixtape Madness was like a Black History mixtape.
That was a Black History song. So they wanted a song. So Mary Prince Mixtape Madness, they just wanted a song. They said.
But did they release a Black History mixtape themselves?
No, they didn't. They didn't release it in the end.
They just pushed your song as their Black History month.
Yeah, they couldn't get artists. There was no one doing that.
Okay.
So no one was making any music like that.
That's crazy.
It was just me.
That's
what I was saying. What you're doing is not like, it's not being done.
Yeah.
It's not a regular occurrence where someone's called young Martin Luther King. Yeah. Even with Global Faction, I feel like they're alone. There's no one else like alongside them. Whereas Link Up, there's a load of other guys doing what they do.
Okay, there's a load. It's similar.
It's the music. Yeah. The music's going through a shift now, and the shift is drill. Like that's what it's that trap stuff. So,
what do you feel about that?
Do you know what I like? Do you know what? I'm not gonna knock drill music or trap music because that's what makes me shine. You get what I'm saying? That's why I stand out. Because if you get what I'm saying, because I'm different to what they do. That's why I stand out.
What everyone else does.
Yeah, I don't do what everyone else does. You get what I'm saying?
What do you think about what do you think about what they're doing? Like what?
It's relevant.
Real artists are like if they're talking about drugs and shooting, and what do you think of that type of content in music?
Do you know what? First and foremost, when it comes to music, I feel like there's always been this saying: that music is the expression of someone, and I feel like the real ones who are expressing themselves in what they've been through. Props to them, hands up. They're talking about their life, what they're going through, and they're bringing that awareness there. But the ones who are faking it and pretending that they're this and they're that and they're in it, I can't rate that because the ones who I know are real, they don't glorify the situation they're in. You get what I'm saying? They want to get out of that situation. So the ones who are glorifying, they're like, yeah, this is sick. Like then that's where I feel like, I think
it's hard to tell though who's real and who's not. I mean, I would say most of the ones that are popping that are really quite big, they're mostly all real. Like if you look at
all from real batches. But I'm saying like also some of them are real young, especially the drill lot. They're like 19, 18. These guys are babies. Yeah, and they might not know better.
100%. They're just following. Remember, we're all it's conditioning. It's too much. I feel like it's a lot of it.
So I know you're enjoying your space of being the only person doing something, but would you not rather, or would you like to see a time, like say you put out an official album and it does really well, and then that inspires other people, and that actually the scene changes and more people are talking about?
That's the goal. For me, the goal is just to go down as one of the greats, bro. It's simple and short. That's the goal, bro. When it's all said and done, they'll look at it and say, Boy Nash did his own thing, and he came out, and you know what I mean? He didn't follow nobody, and it's possible.
But I mean, what do you want? Like, do you want to see the spectrum change where there's more artists like that are speaking on these issues?
I would want more artists to speak on it, but then it takes courage. It takes guts, man. So
I don't know if not. Maybe I miss. Like, would you like a scene, like other like rappers you can collaborate with, and like people you can compete with? There are people you feel like that are just not enough.
There's bare of them there. There's one guy he's all right. It's called Bones. There's loads of them. Lemsy. But it's just that they haven't got the exposure because of what is happening now in the scene. So the rappers are there, but there's no exposure for them.
Okay. So what do you think needs to happen to change that?
For these rappers to come out, everyone just has to push, and there has to be more unity amongst the lyricists. Because there's even a brother called Koji Radical. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's conscious. He's on his thing. You know, there's Shay Lingos. They're rappers. They are there, but maybe we all just need to kind of unify a bit more and get to know each other and stuff. Because you know, with lyricism and consciousness, there's a slight competition in terms of rap skill. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes that gets in the way of bridging the unity. Because you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, for sure.
Because there's spitters out there. There's people spitting. They're like, I can't bring that brother on my track because in case people are gonna hear about him, you get what I'm saying. So I feel like that is what
I think that happens everywhere. That's
Also with the drill guys and that, they all in beef with each other, so they can just stick to their unit and have an excuse for it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I think. I think we just need to make more music and keep pushing. And at the end of the day, it's the people that choose the champion, man. Real talk.
Yeah,
so
I agree with you though.
the people, man.
You lot need to collaborate together more. The lyricists, especially like.
Yeah. I don't like using this word lyricist, but I'm not going to get into
the new ones, innit?
Is it?
I think that. Anyway, I think about the word lyricist differently.
He's saying there's drill assists as well.
I think the man are lyricists too. That's my own thing. But
yeah. I mean, spitters. Well, when I say lyricists,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, people who are rapping, actually trying to bring something to the table, not just putting anything that comes to their brain. You know, they're using poetic words like literary devices. You know, and they're bringing things together. Like,
let's come back to the project because we haven't really touched on the title Shackles.
Yeah.
So I've heard you speak about it before, but could you break that down to us?
It's just about shackles is just anything that limits you. Nowadays the shackles they're physical, but now they're more mental. You get what I'm saying? So I'm talking about the barriers that are stopping people from achieving their goals. So one could be drunkenness. Bruv, you're always drunk, bruv. How you gonna get your goals done? That's a barrier. You get what I'm saying?
That was me, fam. I beat that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well done. You get what I'm saying? That's a shackle. Some people, the shackle that's faced nowadays, even I went through it, is fear. You fear because you're like, are we gonna make it, or are we gonna get something? And that's a shackle that holds tons of people back.
That's the whole of society. Oh, right.
Everyone's scared of doing something.
We're fear.
Yeah.
Full up with fear in this society.
100%. So those are the things I'm talking about, the shackles that are preventing people from achieving. So that's what the shackle is: barriers, hindrances, things that are stopping you from getting to where you want to be or how you want to live your life, literally.
Yeah. Okay, fear. What else was the shackles for you?
It was fear. It was more fear. Do you know what? Mine was fear because what I'm doing is very different. And sometimes I sit down with my peers and like, oh, if you're saying things that are political, you're not going to get into the game, man. Like, no one really wants that, you know. And that kind of was playing on my brain, but I knew what I was meant to do. So that was a fear. Maybe fear of people not even liking it, not liking the project, or not liking what I'm doing, you know. But the main fear was just fear of failure.
Yeah.
Fear of putting my efforts into something and not achieving what I wanted to achieve from it. So that was a but I've conquered that.
You've conquered that. So how
that
you got past
gone?
Huh?
How did you get past that?
Reading self-help books.
Okay.
Reading self-help books, meditating on like there's certain scriptures that I keep close to my heart from the Bible, innit?
Okay.
And I kept them in my brain constantly, bruv. So when that fear would come, I'll just kick it out. You get what I'm saying? Because I felt like my mind was being attacked. Because that's where everything starts. It's all in the mind. So if anyone wants you and they get your mind, they've got you, bro. That's it. So I had to kick that out. But now I'm good. Like,
what kind of books? What books?
Think and Grow Rich.
Help me out.
Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
So if you read Think and Grow Rich, there's a part where Napoleon Hill talks about the 6 ghosts of fear.
Okay.
And one of them was fear of criticism.
Yeah.
And that's something, and in order for you to achieve success, you can't have fear of criticism.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And I started looking back at the greats, and I started looking back at like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. They were all condemned. All of them were condemned. Yeah. Bruv, everyone was condemned, bruv.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But they had to persevere. So when I started understanding that, then I was like, okay, cool. And then
them 3 didn't persevere, they all died.
Yeah.
But you won't know. That's what I'm saying. I got you though. I just think them names was cold. Like Martin, and Jesus was like, fuck, they all died horribly as well.
Exactly.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
But I lost my train of thought.
I like fear of criticism.
Yeah, fear of criticism. Another thing was also not attaching myself to the outcome.
Okay.
So as an artist, I kind of looked at my gift as I'm not going to attach myself, because a lot of time we attach ourselves to the outcome.
To what you think is going to happen?
Yes. So when it doesn't happen, you're hurt.
Yeah.
So now I just thought, you know what, I'm going to make my music. This is my gift that I have, and I'm going to put it out. Whether it's one person that listens or 10,000 people that listen, that's how I move.
No, I respect
I'm
that.
not attached to the outcome. So it just killed my fear. So I'm not scared no more.
I like that one. I think I conquered that second one a long time ago, and I think that I don't care about criticism because I'm always like, I don't care what no one thinks, and I do wild stuff. Yeah. But I do still care about criticism. I do still think about it.
You always will.
But I don't. Fear of criticism and caring about criticism are 2 different things, though, innit? Like, because one is saying, I'm so scared, I'm not gonna do this for fear of being criticized. One is doing something that you give a F about and then being worried about the criticism,
anxious about. No, I hear that still.
Because you're gonna have that no matter what with art.
Yeah,
and also
he's overcome it, man.
Yeah, having a foundation.
We need to learn how to get rid of that shackle.
Having a foundation and values.
Okay.
So that helped me. So I started defining what my values are.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I started looking at my foundation. So no matter what goes wrong, I know I have a rock foundation when I go back home, and that's what you believe in. That's your belief system.
Yeah,
When you don't have a belief
yeah.
system, anyone can sway you left or right. So
Yeah,
those are
yeah,
things
yeah,
I
yeah.
started
So
looking at.
you write it. I definitely think I've got that, but I've never written it down. Like, it's just
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
So did you write down your belief system?
Yeah, like my values. I wrote down my values, not my belief system. My
Okay.
belief
Yeah.
system developed over what, like that's just based on what I believe in terms of how I believe my purpose is, what life
Yeah.
is about. I lay down my values. Like, you know what I'm
So
saying?
do you apply your values to your life?
Every day now,
Yeah.
every single day, bro.
Yeah.
My values, yeah, because
How?
I drill it in. So, for example, one of my values is be positive.
Okay.
So I've got a networking event I'm meant to go to like straight after here, and I'm like, do I want to go? No, I don't. I'm a bit nervous. I don't know who's gonna be there. But in my mind, my value is to be positive. So I pushed it in there. No, you have to be positive about the situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. Apply these little things to my.
Yeah, first I should have asked what are the values before I
Yeah,
asked
yeah,
how you
yeah,
apply them.
Yeah. What other ones?
Be positive. God first.
Yeah.
In all situations, that's how I roll. Like regardless.
Yeah.
So I don't watch what people say. One of my values is anything's possible. You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Nothing can change.
Yeah.
Use your time wisely.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing. Self-confidence and self-belief.
Yeah.
Those are the five principles I live my life based by, like, or trying to. You know, I'm still.
Yeah.
still
Well,
pushing.
everything
It's
is a
always
process,
battle.
isn't it? Yeah.
But yeah, I've got my values in check now, so
That's
it's what
dope, man.
it is. And use my gifts until I pass.
Yeah. I
Literally.
respect that. So
Yeah.
what's the plan with the gifts after this? What's the next plan musically after this project?
Do you know what? With this project, I want to push it out as much. With all of my other projects, I don't really push them out because I'm such a creative. I'm just onto the next thing straight away. So I have a project sitting there right now that is already done. You get what I'm saying? But with what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push this project a bit more, like proper get into promoting it, shoot videos, and probably promote it for about 6 to 7, 8 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I'll come with a next project. So now I'm coming with a more systematic approach. You know, but with the next project, I'm still working on songs. Songs are done, but I'm still working and trying to improve them.
Yeah.
And make them better.
I don't know if you lot discussed this on the other show, but how did you get into the game? How did you start spitting?
Oh, how did I start making music?
Yeah.
Do you know, I always tell people it chose me. People are like, what do you mean it chose you? But it's crazy. Like when I was 14, I was just on the ends with the man them, and it was just cool to rap. And I started just rapping. But then I would say it chose me because I don't even remember when I wrote my first lyric. You know what I'm saying? I just remember being on having this verse. I'm cold like frostbite. Me and my crew come cold like frostbite. I come like a gun. Lyrically bun you down in one. That was one of my first lyrics. And the man them just loved it.
Yeah.
And then when I went to Ghana, so I went back to Ghana for a bit.
Okay,
and when I was in Ghana, I worked with one of Sarkodis producers, J Soul.
Okay.
And the song just took off. And I don't know if you've read The Alchemist, you have this thing that happens.
I have, but a long
It's
time
like,
ago.
I forgot what it's called. It's the first chance. Whenever you do something for the first time and it kind of picks off and goes crazy, it's kind of like that's what you're meant to do. And ever since then, I've just never stopped creating. I can't stop like creating. It's like, it's not like if I don't create for a while, I get itchy.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's how I got into the game. And then when I came back to England, I was like, raw, how do I continue? How do I find my way in the game? And then I started doing open mics. I didn't know what the hell to do. Then I started going to open mics and performing. And then from there, I started getting headline shows. And then from there, the fan base started building. And then followers started getting up on Instagram. And that's just how, and here we are today, innit? Just still going. But
Like you say, you started like on the block with random just rapping.
Yeah.
Do you think it's still like that now?
with young people,
Yeah.
Oh,
Like with the youth them, do you think they still just go block and just start ciphers and rap with each other and that?
do you know what? It must be. I think this time they probably go in the studio because back in my day we wasn't really recording tracks. Like it was more sets.
So now you think they're just they're making songs.
I think
But no ciphers.
I don't know if it
No drill ciphers. No.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. You
I
know?
proper don't know. I'm mad old
think-
now. I proper
Bro,
don't know.
we don't do ciphers no more.
I think, do you know what? I don't think they do ciphers. It's not really about skill no more, man. Really and truly, in terms of I don't think they look at it and go like,
I'm just gonna hold myself back.
for the youngsters,
He
that's
wants
what
to
I
say,
think.
actually, it's about a different skill. That's what he wants to say.
Okay.
I'm not gonna take away from the focus of the conversation.
No,
because,
but you can give your point. I just feel like it's not about
Yeah.
skill. This is my opinion.
Yeah,
for the young
yeah,
people,
yeah.
I feel they don't really care about how dope you are. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They don't really understand metaphors and similes and stuff.
I think
They
there's
just-
Especially not
it's
in a
vibe.
cipher.
I think there's an element where young people would like and new artists will say that themselves, but I think they're kind of pressured in that kind of way. They think what
But
they
then-
do is dope in it. They do whatever it is their energy and they're doing their
Then
thing.
he's right then where he says it's in the studio.
Yeah,
Because
it's
there's a lot of
definitely more in the
youths
studio. Yeah.
because it's more production.
And they don't do
based.
live shows. They don't do live shows until like people are now doing like. I've been interviewing a lot of artists recently who like are popping on YouTube or whatever. They doing live shows like after they've already had their first million views. That's like they're coming out. They don't really know what they're doing. They're standing on the stage, so it is different.
But I saw stuff like that like 8 years ago. I see rappers that just started when YouTube first started popping. I'll go to see man's set and man was terrible because he never ever rapped on a mic before.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Them guys had just rapped in cypher.
I'm not even gonna say. I think I could put names into that, but we're not gonna do it.
Say one name.
See, now she's pushing it.
It's man them and that as well. Like, Rob, there's people.
What happened to being positive, man?
When do you think you will make an official like album?
Do you know what? I can't put a name on that, man. I cannot put a date on that. I cannot. It depends what happens. Because right now, with my situation, I'm handling everything myself. I'm 100% independent.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm doing everything myself. I'm getting these shows myself.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I'm putting my money into my music myself. So the thing is, it's two things. Either I build a team, or I work. You know what I mean? But I don't think I want to get my fan base a bit bigger, and I want to make more of an impact. Than I have made in order for me to release that album. I don't think it's right for me to release that album now. I wouldn't say I'm at that stage yet.
Have you got a vision for like a perfect circumstance of like where everything would be in place where you could make your album how you want it?
Either I was signed to an independent label, or I had some form of strong promotion in place. So I had like funds. If I had like more of a budget, because I've been working with no budget. Let's keep it real out here. It's no budget, man. But if I had a budget in place, yes, then I could produce an album. That's what I feel like.
No, I respect that. Because putting out an actual album without a budget is the next thing.
Yeah.
How important do you think the albums are in this day and age? Because a lot of people focus on singles and
it's not that important in this day and age.
You think so? Seriously?
Do you know why I say so?
Yeah.
Attention span of people is just like it's low. If you're putting out a 15-20 track album, like it's gonna be crazy for people to get through it.
I think that it's come back though. I'm just gonna say this to you just to just drop my own little kind of perspective on it. I think the game it became a singles market. A lot of people saying that, and people putting out singles, and it's all just to do with the one song. If there ain't a video, your song don't even really exist. But the streaming services now has brought it back around where it's like we're listening to playlists of like mix. So an album is like a playlist of one artist, and people are listening to albums again, and they're doing well. They're charting. Wretch's album, Giggs' album. We've just had loads of really successful albums for the first time.
Okay.
In a while, and even in America, like the Drake, Kendrick, like these albums are kind of. I think it's just come back.
I think with statistics, if you're saying they're selling out, then
I think streaming's had a big effect.
I think it's helped. I thought it was going to be a detrimental to everything, but I think it's kind of helped.
Everyone calls their thing a playlist now, though. That's the crazy thing. Everyone puts out, they don't really say it's an album, so it's like. But I understand what you're saying. For me, I drop projects. I don't really go the same. I drop projects, but I just feel like it's died out. To get someone to listen to your 20-track album or 15-track album when you're not buzzing, it's tough, man.
No, I think
even when you are buzzing.
I think do it when you're buzzing. I think don't make it 20 songs. 10 to 14 and
don't listen to Novar.
Listen, I'm gonna give advice. So
don't make it 20. Listen. Do what you want, fam.
Have you seen Chris Brown's album 45?
Yeah, I saw the interview, but I don't know about all of that, bro. I don't think I'm gonna be listening to it. You know what I'm saying?
But I know heads that will.
But I'm saying albums. I know
heads that will.
The albums is what goes down in history. Like that people remember forever. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was talking about these artists earlier.
But like Drake's album is 19 songs long. I can't never listen to that in one sitting.
Yeah.
What the playlist?
I always like
more. The playlist is 20 something songs long. If it's 19 songs, I can deal with just about.
So it's 20 something. Some says too much.
It's too many songs.
Well, we'll go on.
I think it's for streaming. I think like the streaming services. It's a perfect time for a rapper like you, where you drop music and you're thinking about the whole project.
Yeah.
And they're like projects that people can just digest as a whole thing.
Yeah.
And you've already thought about, like, this is Shackles, everything on it is related to a subject.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect time for you, because there was a time when everyone was just trying to drop singles. And I think like that's not the time now. People are like, the reason why Damn did so well is not because of DNA or any of the singles. It's because of the content.
American rappers are dropping albums now without singles to a degree. Drake don't drop singles. He don't have a video.
But it depends on the power of the artist.
Of course he's in a it's
a different
But
power,
even those Griselda lot, them man do not make singles.
I've never seen a video of
and them man got signed to Eminem off the strength for just dropping music so regularly. Yeah, so this guys.
We're gonna look forward to when you do it.
We're just trying to give you hope, man.
Yeah. Thank
Trying
you.
to give you hope, man. Be positive, bro.
And whatever you do, and even if it's just singles, make sure you always send them to us.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming down. Let's get into one more record from this that we haven't played. So I'm gonna let you choose it.
I'll say Freedom, the track, the last one, the live session.
Look, it's there, lined up already. How did that happen? That's great. That's what I'm saying. So we'll get into this. Thank you for coming down. Also, now send out your socials and etc.
Yeah. So guys, you can find me at Boy Nash on everything: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. That's BOYNASH. So Boy Nash everywhere. Google me, man. Everywhere. I'm there.
All right, man. One love.
Keep it pyro.